All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Rudolph Family Inc. studios. Bueller and Dodge at the mics, ready to give you some news, break down previous fight cards, look forward. I guess we're going to look forward to this weekend's fight. I think we have to.
We'll talk about that.
The elephant in the room, of course, it's boxing, but it's a big fight. We got to check on it.
And we ain't got nothing else to talk about.
There's a big story to talk about.
No, there's nothing at all to talk about. and of course, The Ultimate Fighter. We had our second episode this week, and we'll get to that as well. Make sure you check out Americana Rocks. That's Americana.rocks, ROCKS. You can get yourself some discounted gear if you put in SDMMA in the discount code. Fatty will hook you up with a surprise discount. And
supplies.
Yeah, you can get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. Please tell your friends. Share the love. SplitDecisionMMA.com is our official website, and SD_MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Split Decision MMA Podcast on Facebook. Throw us a like, and again, please tell your friends. Spread the love. We love you. Love us back. Just a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into some news here.
Melvin Gillard has been released from the World Series of Fighting.
Okay.
I mean, after all the trash talk he was doing to the organization, it's not surprising. He also said that he didn't want to fight for them anyway.
Right.
He wanted to go to Bellator and work his way back to the UFC.
Then why sign the contract? That's what I don't get.
Originally, he said he was going to be happy in World Series of Fighting. He just doesn't like how things are being handled.
It seems like, that's the thing. It seems like, and I don't know much. I don't want to slander the organization here, but it seems like what we're hearing is the World Series of Fighting is making these promises. And giving these fighters delusions, grandeur, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get all this shit. And World Series of Fighting doesn't seem to be able to back a lot of it up.
But we did, by talking to a couple fighters, find out that pretty much word for word what he said was happening does happen.
Does happen all the time, yeah.
Right.
I just haven't experienced it personally, and I don't want to get us in trouble.
So do you think Gillard's going to get signed with Bellator? Or do you think he's kind of one of these fighters that's too much trouble to handle?
He's a mouth. I mean, if he can get back on his feet and do what he did best back in the day, then he'd be okay in Bellator. I don't think he could ever work his way back into the UFC.
No?
I don't think he's that caliber anymore. I really don't. But I think he'd be fun to watch in Bellator for those fans. And like I said, he's a name. He's quick on his feet. He gets big knockouts when he gets them. Mm-hmm. If he would just learn to respect the game a little bit more, learn some ground defense, and actually become a well-rounded fighter, then maybe he could be a different fighter. Maybe he could get in the UFC, but we all know he's not going to do that.
And I want to say no, just knee-jerk reaction. But then again, we're about to watch Shamrock and Slice. So,
oh yeah, I mean,
if there's money to be made off him,
yeah, there's obviously a few fighters that have made it back into the UFC that we never thought we'd see there again.
Andrei Arlovsky.
Andrei Arlovsky being one
Mirko
of them.
Krokop.
Well, there's someone lighter that just fought recently too. Who got his chance back in the UFC against at the last UFC, the co-main event up against Jacare.
Oh, Chris Camozzi? He's still been in the UFC. He still had a contract with him.
I thought he was out for some reason.
Oh wait, Riggs Cote.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Riggs would be 100% on that boat for sure.
Diego Sanchez says he's planning to move to featherweight. That's 145. He wants to be the first guy ever to compete and win in 4 different weight classes. Now, mind you, Kenny Florian was the first guy ever to compete in 4 different weight classes in the UFC. He did not win at 185 pounds. The first fight he had in the UFC was not his natural weight at all. He dropped down to 170, eventually to 155, where he did have a lot of success, and then 145. Sanchez says he's been taking a new weight loss pill.
Yeah, that'll come out great in testing.
Called Knockout Fat Burner. It's a sponsorship opportunity that he's actually signed with. He started using the product. He said he went from his 190-pound walk-around weight down to 170 walk-around weight.
Can I get some of this?
And he now says that he will be able to make 145 realistically and be very competitive at that weight.
Sounds like crack. It sounds like he's gonna pop on a drug test too.
This is Jenny Crank diet.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Is if you're going to get sponsored by some kind of supplement company, maybe you should have somebody go over the ingredients list, the banned substance list, just to be sure.
Just to make sure?
Yeah, just to be sure. There could be something in there where you're like, what? It's an over-the-counter fat burner. And then you find out that there's some kind of steen in there that you weren't supposed to be taking.
That's what I wonder about. A lot of these, you see it mostly on Instagram, is all these fighters showing, this stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't think all of them take it.
No.
Because like you say, there's a lot of those out there that they're just not going to pass a test if you take what's on there.
Right. So, I mean, Felice Herrig is one of them. She's always posting Instagram pictures of supplements and stuff like that. But, I mean, who knows if she's actually taking all that.
Well, I hope she's not because it's not working. It's not.
It's working for her physique.
Yeah, well.
doesn't say anything about KO powder.
Right. The karate hottie Michelle Waterson has signed a contract with the UFC and will make her strawweight debut at the Ultimate Fighter finale. She is going to be fighting Ultimate Fighter Angelina Magna.
Cool.
Magana.
I know you've been waiting for this girl to break into the UFC for a while.
Now
Isn't that
she
the one
did
they call
just
the Queen.
Magana.
Yeah.
She did now.
The crazy one?
Waterson just did just lose her belt over from Invicta at 105 pounds. She's now going back up strawweight, and she is 12-4 right now in MMA.
Yeah, well, she's a draw. She can do something in the strawweight when I bring her over.
Why not?
Got to build up that division. You made it. You got to put people in it now.
Yep, got to start filling. I mean, they already took the top 15, or what they consider the top 15.
Yeah,
Right.
we're slowly finding out that some of them aren't the fighters we thought they were.
Yeah.
Felice.
Ronda Rousey's longtime friend.
I don't want my bracelet now.
And training partner Marina Shafir has signed with Invicta. She is 1-1 in MMA. She says her eventual goal is to fight and possibly beat Chris Cyborg Justino.
And what is her training?
She trains with she's judo. She trains with Ronda Rousey. She's been longtime friends with her training partner.
Ronda's best friend.
Yeah, that's Ronda's best friend.
BFF.
Bringing Ronda's best friend doesn't beat Cyborg.
She's also very well versed in judo herself. So,
But she doesn't have the credentials that Ronda does.
She's not an Olympian, I don't believe, but I know she was her training partner even during the Olympics. She's been her longtime friend. She's won multiple titles. She's won world titles, not necessarily Olympic titles.
So she's been Ronda's punching bag for the last 15 years, and now she's going to go beat up Cyborg. I want some more she's smoking.
Cyborg, trying to train for Ronda, has decided to train with the Cuban judo Olympic champion.
All right. Smart.
Very smart.
Don't they know that Ronda beat the Cubans?
Maybe Cyborg should go train with this girl who just signed with Invicta.
Yeah.
Ronda's best friend?
Ronda's best friend, yeah.
That's probably not going to happen.
Money does a lot, man.
No, I just don't think so. Makdessi recently said, as part of his legal defense for the Fear the Fighter brand, as he was president getting sued by Musasi, that I didn't know what was going on. I'm just president in name.
Yeah. That makes you an idiot.
He's trying to say that it has nothing to do with it. He's like, unfortunately, my name is on a piece of paper of president. I never knew it was going to come to this point. There's so many things that I knew of, but I was never a part of the business aspect.
You know what happened? He read that the president can use acceptable deniability and thought it worked for companies.
He said, I never benefited from Fear the Fighter. All these deals with fighters, everything went through the managers and lawyers. I never spoke to anybody. I never signed a piece of paper. I was the inspiration for the brand Fear the Fighter, and I was a sponsored athlete. My brother, though, was helping me with my career and helped me with the business side so I could focus on fighting.
If you didn't sign a piece of paper, then how are you president?
He does say, I hold myself responsible, though, for not being aware. I had no idea the title meant so much. Being president, my sole focus was to help my brother and help myself as far as being a sponsored athlete.
This is just dumb. This is just dumb. You didn't know the president had responsibility.
I think no statement would have been better than this statement.
This thing, right? I is the Tito Ortiz. Like, I mean, this is what it's starting to sound like.
I'm just a figurehead. No, you're the president of the company. Figurehead is Chuck Liddell shaking hands at the front door of the office of the UFC. Way different.
Handing out mints and stickers.
God damn it. I got that visual of him just standing there with a bucket.
Yep. Hey, welcome to the UFC. Thank you. Hey, welcome to the UFC. Thank you. Just the stickering.
Giving lollipops to little kids.
Little lollipops and slapping UFC stickers on people as they walk through the door.
So essentially, he's a UFC greeter.
Yeah, he's like the Walmart greeter.
Hey, I'm former 205 champion Chuck Liddell. Here's your sticker. Move on.
Hey, who are you?
I'm Chuck Liddell.
I'm Chuck Liddell.
I'm former light heavyweight champion Chuck Liddell. Here's your sticker. Move on.
It just resets.
Just keep saying the same thing over and over.
Hey, who am I? Why are we here? Move along.
Can I have that lollipop?
Where'd I get all these fucking stickers?
But we still love you, Chuck.
Lauzon has signed a new 8-fight deal with the UFC. His first fight will be taking on Takanori Gomi in Chicago. You excited to see J-Lau get his contract extended?
Well, I am, because obviously he's a fighter that he brings the fight every time he comes.
He's
won a ridiculous amount of fight of the night bonuses. Yeah, I mean, he belongs in the UFC until he doesn't belong there anymore.
But I'm just saying,
He belongs until he doesn't belong.
Okay, but with the 8-fight deal,
I didn't know the president had to do anything.
Right? John Madden quote right there.
boom, and then you're like, boom. But I mean, so even if he goes on a 7-loss streak, we're going to have to see him for 7 more fights?
No, they'll cut him.
They'll cut him, but they can still pay him for those 7 fights. He's contracted up to 7.
No, I mean, what is he coming off? 1 loss right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he racks up 2, 3 more.
That's how it starts, Joey.
Yeah, well, it's how it always starts.
1 loss. And then another.
That's why I stayed undefeated.
I'm out, bitches.
They gave him my trophy, I dropped the mic and moved on.
Gian Villante, coming off his recent win over Corey Anderson at Fight Night 15, will be facing now Tom Lawlor at UFC Fox 16 in July. Tom Lawlor has not fought since April of 2013. This is the same card that will be headlined by TJ Dillashaw, Renan Barao, as well as Miles Jury, Anthony Pettis, Jessica Ai, and Misha Tate.
So this is our free on Fox.
This is our free on Fox card.
Okay.
So Gian Villante getting into fight pretty relatively soon after his last one.
Well, you look good.
A little bit more news where we got some shuffles going on. We have Alexander Gustafsson is injured and now off of his fight against Glover Teixeira that was supposed to be the UFC event in Berlin. Now Joanna Jędrzejczyk will be taking on... I just had it here a second ago. Jessica Penne, yeah, to defend her strawweight title.
That headline is horrible because it makes it look like Jędrzejczyk is replacing Gustafsson.
Yeah, it does look like at the Berlin event, yes. So that she will be defending her newly won strawweight title. Are you bummed that Gustafsson is out of his fight with Glover?
That's a great fight. That's a fight that people really want to see. I'm not saying that people don't want to see Jędrzejczyk up against but people really want to see Gustafsson and Glover Teixeira. I mean, these guys they bang. They're big. They swing hard. They got
now. This was going to be just a fight night. I don't know if this was going to be on Fox Sports 1 or Fight Pass. I don't remember. I believe it was Fight Pass, but even then, it was still a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's lesser of a blow the lower it goes on the. And again, not trying to say anything, to the female championship fight, but that's a big fight to lose off any card. Yeah.
Recently, also UFC 187 took 2 blows to the card.
No kidding.
The first one was Khabib Nurmagomedov has been forced out of his bout due to an MCL tear. His fight with Donald Cerrone was temporarily canceled. Donald Cerrone offered to fight himself via Fight Club style to save the card.
Gotta love his style.
Instead, Jon Makdessi, who's coming off of his KO win at UFC 186, which we'll go into, will step in to take on Cowboy Cerrone. Now we're going to have the Cowboy versus the Bull.
El Matador.
Little rodeo action.
We really need to talk to the people. Who is it? Coachella, where they do like the laser impression of somebody?
The holograms?
The hologram?
Yeah.
Have Cerrone fight Cerrone with
That'd
a hologram?
be amazing. I would pay to see that fight.
It'd just be Cerrone falling through the hologram the entire time.
He does have a beer before his fight, maybe.
Yeah,
It's choking me! It's choking me!
So Makdessi's got to defend himself against a lawsuit, and he's got to go up against Donald Cerrone at the same time?
Yep.
Good luck.
And then obviously the big news that came out over the weekend, or past week and weekend, should we say, right?
Dude, Sunday when it first broke, it was so... I mean, I text you guys, but we got like 6 people trying to confirm it.
And nobody knew exactly what was going on.
No, and we could confirm it, but Albuquerque police would not talk to anybody.
No.
Yeah.
So what happened? Jon Jones was involved in a hit and run. He ran a red light, slammed into another car, fled the scene, came back, grabbed a handful of cash from the glove compartment, and ran off again.
But left the weed in the pipe.
Underneath the seat. Also, he did hit somebody. It happened to be a pregnant woman, and it broke her forearm.
Which caused this to, at the very least,
be a felony charge.
A felony hit and run.
Felony hit and run with possible up to 3 years in prison.
Now, the thing is, he disappeared for more than 24 hours.
He was then. There was all kinds of rumors.
He
going
went to
on.
another rehab.
There was rumors going on that there was cocaine. There was rumors going on that the woman sustained more injuries than just a broken arm. There was all kinds of rumors going on.
Here's the thing: you don't disappear for 36 hours unless you're trying to hide more than just yourself. You don't voluntarily turn yourself in 36 hours later.
He's hiding that cash.
You're like, what? What? I don't know. He couldn't have got that much cash. Handful of cash. That was just used to pay somebody to hide him. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I'm going to speculate that I'm going to allege here that he was drunk as shit, possibly high on cocaine, and hiding out until it was all out of his system. And I mean, I said it the day that it happened, and it's been said by other reporters as well. I don't see any other reason that he was hiding for 36 hours. He wanted to get shit out of his system.
Clean, yeah.
Possibly even sending people down to Walgreens to pick up a piss test for him.
Oh, so there's other people that already come out and said that he probably spent a good 10, 12 hours on a treadmill, IVs, flushing his
all
system.
kinds of rumors going on.
None of this is confirmed at all, but I would...
Pure speculation.
Pure speculation.
If there was a way to bet on this and have it proved, I would bet my house on that.
How'd we say earlier? I would put
90% of my money on this. I give him 10%. I put 10% on benefit of the doubt. 90% that he fucked up and this is what was really happening.
I don't even know if I go 10%.
5%? Maybe 5% of benefit of the doubt.
Maybe 5% just to make my money back.
5% benefit of the doubt.
Did you guys see the Instagram that morning where he's just laughing? He's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
So he did post bail $2,500 bond.
What the fuck was that?
Because technically
$25,000 bail.
No,
$2,500.
No, he had to pay $2,500, right?
Bond.
Because it's $25,000 bail.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
pay-
okay.
Yeah.
Because the way I read it, that it was just a straight cash bond of $2,500.
He paid that to get himself. What you do is you pay the cash to get yourself out. You don't get it back.
Right.
Yeah.
But now you're out.
I
don't understand. He should have just paid the $25,000 and made sure he showed up in court and got that money back.
Right.
But whatever.
And so then we have the chain of events that happened beyond that. Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta and CEO Lawrence Epstein all flew to Albuquerque on Tuesday to meet with him and his legal team to figure out what was going to be happening. Then they immediately decided to make a decision. The decision is that he will be stripped of his title. And Daniel Cormier and Anthony Johnson will now fight for the vacant title at UFC 187 as the main event.
So this is not an interim title.
No,
to make that
this
clear.
This is the new title. This will be the new champion.
And Jones is suspended indefinitely.
Jones is suspended indefinitely. The only tweet and anything he's sent out since this whole incident has happened has got a lot of soul searching to do. Sorry to everyone I've let down.
I mean,
The official statement was UFC has announced that it has suspended Jon Jones indefinitely and stripped him of his light heavyweight title as a result of violations of the organization's athlete code of conduct and policy. Jon Jones was arrested in Albuquerque, New Mexico on felony charge of leaving the scene of an accident involving a personal injury. As a result of the charge and other violations of the athlete code of conduct policy, the organization believes it's best to allow Jones the time to focus on his pending legal matters. The UFC feels strongly that its athletes must uphold certain standards both in and out of the octagon. While there is disappointment in the recent charges, the organization remains supportive of Jones as he works through his legal process. With this decision, the UFC has determined the number one contender, Anthony Johnson, will fight number 3, Daniel Cormier.
Who's number 2?
What's that?
Gustafsson
is number 2.
And he's out.
So, a couple things to come off of this whole thing is that, I mean, when this happened, the fighters are tweeting like crazy what they thought should happen. Should he be suspended? And everyone points back to he's already been busted for a DWI.
He's already been busted for cocaine.
In his Bentley, which also was a hit and run. He's also been busted for cocaine. There's been all the tweets and Instagram hacks, in quotes, that happened where he was, gay bashing fans and basically bad mouthing fans on Twitter.
Multiple driving without a license.
Yeah. So
No,
there's multiple things that have happened.
That DUI with a Bentley, I remember when that happened, a lot of people were saying online that it was his second. I've only been able to find that one.
I've only been able to find the one as well.
Okay.
Apparently he had it before he was a champion. He had another DUI. But as a fighter, he had this one.
Okay.
So that's what I've been reading.
If anybody can find that first DUI, if you can send it to us, that'd be great because I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. So maybe
it's past the
basically
whatever statute of limitations. I have no idea.
Dana White has basically said, "Look, this guy's had too many chances. He's already had too many chances."
Yeah, and the rumor mill was that they went up there with not as harsh as planned. They
found out what really happened.
They got up there. Dana had something in mind, and Lorenzo himself was like, "No."
See, I kind of wondered like what actually came out in the meeting with Jones that we don't know about. Was Jones still just being erratic and out of his mind? I mean, was he being aggressive towards Dana? Is that what made them pull the trigger and be like, you know what, fuck this? Because, I mean, granted, the UFC has I don't want to say harsher policies, but they've got harsher implementations of their policies than almost any other sporting organization.
A lot of the guys, especially like I said, on Twitter, a lot of the fighters and a lot of sports insiders were saying that before this actually happened, before the UFC made the decision, that they needed to strip him of his title because of all the things that he's already done and gotten away with and been allowed to do, that anything else would be a farce. I think there was a lot of media pressure to strip him of his title. A lot of and fighter pressure. Because, I mean, again, with the whole cocaine thing, he went to rehab for one day. We support him. It's not a big deal. He's all right.
Yeah, he's good.
Really? Everybody else thought it was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
but there's huge financial pressure.
Oh, yeah.
To to actually pull the trigger on
Which
that.
is exactly why so many other organizations let this kind of shit fly. I mean, that's why Floyd Mayweather, he's been convicted of attacking 7 women
Yeah.
in the last 14 years, and nothing, no repercussions,
And that's what I mean. I mean, I would like to be a fly on the wall in that jet on the way up there because the COO Epstein's like, but we're going to lose a shitload of money.
Right. This card's going to take a huge hit. Now losing Nurmagomedov, I mean, this is not that Nurmagomedov carried the card, but it's just another blow to
Another blow to the card, yeah.
If they would have still had Jones and lost Nurmagomedov, it'd be like, oh, that sucks.
Jones has also lost his Reebok. Reebok immediately pulled their sponsorship from Jon Jones, as well as Muscle Tech, who also sponsors his 2 brothers, has pulled Jon Jones from their sponsorship.
Yeah.
And if you look at the history of people who've been stripped of their title, go back to the history of the UFC. The first time they ever stripped a person of their title was in 1998. They stripped Randy Couture because he signed with Valtudo. So, again, not a big deal. They stripped Jens Pulver after contract negotiations. They stripped... The first person they ever stripped for any testing was Josh Barnett in March 2002. They stripped him because he failed his PED test.
The Jens Pulver thing seems kind of silly to me.
Due to contract negotiations? Because he was saying he was going to go somewhere else.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You give me more money, well, we're just going to take your belt.
Yeah.
All right.
Murilo Bustamante got stripped for signing with Pride. Tim Sylvia got stripped after his PD test. That's 2. BJ Penn got stripped when he signed with K1. Frank Mir after his accident, and he came off. There was 2 years he could not compete.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. Sean Shirk busted again for Nanderstein.
Yeah.
And then Dominic Cruz was stripped just recently because after his repeated injuries, unable to make it back to the cage.
3 years.
Just like Frank Mir. So this is the first time anybody's been arrested in other things outside of the UFC that wasn't drug-related and wasn't signing with another organization.
So I'd like to see a list of who's been arrested in the UFC that has been able to maintain a career in the UFC.
Another side note for you conspiracy people, Muhammad Ali was also stripped of his title on April 28th for refusing to go into the military.
Yeah.
Draft dodging. Yep.
So
there we go. He planned it. He planned the whole thing.
I got to do it on the right day.
Some of the things that I saw that were coming out. Ken Shamrock wrote an open letter on his website to Jon Jones, which at first to me seemed very heartfelt. Basically, Ken Shamrock is born again Christian now.
Okay.
After he beat the woman up
at the mall, he says, John, this is hi, John. A few others can understand the excitement and lust of the world. Says yes to your every desire. At these times, anything you want is at your fingertips. Free meals, expensive gifts, amazing opportunities, big sponsorship, money, girls. Everything you desire is met on demand. One day, everything changes. Speaking from experience, the decisions we make eventually catches up to you. These consequences from the seeds that we have sown are very real, very seldom and easy to deal with. Fame is often a road paved with heartbreak. It's a black hole, the ability to engulf a distracted soul. Unfortunately, you must sleep in your bed that you made. You did this to yourself. You have issues that need to be dealt with. It is important you understand that all of your troubles today are a byproduct of your actions. Once you truly understand this, you'll begin to heal what is broken and move forward once again. John, you truly are a champion and accomplish heights that few others will ever reach. You use your same internal strengths and determine to help become a world champion, to fight through this hard season and yourself. Your next fight is with yourself. Ironically, a documentary film is set to be released about me called My Greatest Fight. So he uses this heartfelt fucking letter to promote his documentary coming out. This is where he lost me, and I just said, fuck it. Ken Shamrock, I don't care anymore.
I doubt he even wrote that fucking thing.
Like, really? Like,
His documentary should be called...
I dealt with myself has got to be living with you. I lived through hardships myself and actions that caused me the hope to learn from my past mistakes. Blah, 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 blah. Like, who gives a shit
I beat up a woman at a mall, bro.
Yeah. Now
you think you've hit rock bottom?
Don't give up on yourself.
Buy my DVD.
Buy my DVD and find out how to get through this. It's only $9.95, $95. Like,
it's 4 installments of $9.95.
just,
But you get Ken Shamrock's greatest hits, too.
Yeah. Greatest tits?
His greatest tits is when he dropped all that weight to fight that one. He had fucking pointy nipples, bro. That's his greatest tits.
When he got cut backstage and couldn't fight Kimbo.
So, okay.
I got a cut on my eyebrow.
One of the biggest questions that has come out to a lot of fans is Jon Jones disappears for who knows how long.
Was the timeline I got was roughly 36 hours.
No. I'm saying
from the fight.
Suspended. He's suspended. Okay. He goes to jail for a year probably. I mean, he's not going to get 3 years. There's no way.
He's not going to get a year.
So he comes back. Immediate title shot.
You think you're getting a title shot, John? You literally think you're getting a title shot?
No.
No. They're saying that he never lost his belt. No one ever beat him.
No, that's very accurate, but no.
He's just going to get a fight after that. He's going to get 2 fights. He has to work his way back from the bottom, going out as one of the greatest of all time.
10-5-1.
I think he needs...
Make him fight 10, make him fight 5. Then you can fight number 1.
He'll be doing that in jail.
No, he's going to be fighting 5-on-2.
10 at a time, 5 at a time, and then finally the 1.
Hey, John, I heard you're good at putting a chokehold. Put this in a chokehold. Choke on that, John.
No, I think he's going to be gone. I think he will be gone long enough to where he's going to need a tune-up fight when he comes back.
All right.
So, I mean, I don't know. He's going to own that yard, dude.
Yeah, who's going to fuck with Jon Jones in jail?
The biggest motherfucker you ever met in your life.
Have you seen that picture of the dude sitting on the bed that's been going around?
No.
It's a fake link. People have been sending this link around saying that the fight tomorrow night, the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, is canceled. And they put this link, and it is the biggest black man I've ever seen in my life with a fucking elephant trunk dick. Just sitting on a bed. Thing is just swinging down between his legs, and it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
But not my dick. Bigger than me as a human being.
And he's going to be nice. He's going to be like, John, you want to be the man or the woman? And John's going to be like, I want to be the man. He's all good. Come over here and eat mama's pussy.
Suck mama's dick.
So UFC 187 now has Anthony Johnson and Daniel Cormier as the main event. Chris Weidman, Vitor Belfort is still the co-main event. Donald Cerrone against Makdessi, Travis Brown, Andre Arlovski, and Joseph Benavidez against John Moraga. That is your main card. You still think that's a bad card?
No, I don't.
It's a good card.
I don't think it's a bad card at all.
Not completely ruined?
Not at all.
All right. I'm actually looking forward to the Raya Hall.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good fight.
You're going to talk about Uriah Faber?
Hall.
You're going to talk about Uriah Faber?
What about Uriah Faber?
And him being a non-vaxxer now?
Oh.
Beginning his political
that
career?
shot himself in the foot. He thought he was going to have a lot of people back him.
No. No, a lot of people online say that he's a selfish asshole.
They were like, dude, tell me you got hacked. Tell me you got hacked. Or like what one guy put, he's like, dude, obviously head trauma has happened to you.
What does he say? I've been vax-free all my life and I'm still healthy. Oh, okay. So just because the whole neighborhood's on fire, you shouldn't leave either because you're not on fire yet.
Yep.
That's fine.
Right.
Makes complete sense.
Now, and on that note, I think they should just put measles or whatever in a squirt gun and just be like, don't worry, as long as you're vaccinated, nothing's going to happen.
Just send them to Disneyland. No, man, I'm like, I don't get that mentality, especially with my girlfriend being a teacher and they're not allowed to bring like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to school. And she can't. We had a jar of trail mix. I was like, you want to use this to store like anything for your art class? And she's like, I had peanuts in it. I can't. But motherfuckers with no vaccines can come to school?
Oh, yeah.
How does that make any sense at all?
I'm still along the thing with Louis C.K. You just give all those peanut allergy kids peanuts, and we just wean them out, and there's no more peanut allergies.
Yep. Just let them go.
I'm surprised kids with a peanut allergy can go to school next to an almond orchard, though.
Right?
Surprising to me.
Guess what? No more peanut allergies. Just right out of the gene pool.
Just start crop dusting schools and neighborhoods with peanut dust. Here, you want some ice cream? This is really good. What is it? Pistachio?
It's cute. I had no idea I was doing a show with 2 Hitlers.
No, because it's just kids. We're not saying specific kids. Peanut allergies has no color, sir.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, take the warning labels off all the bottles.
There we go.
Wean everybody out.
Darwin, at its best.
I've ingested just about anything. I know I'll survive.
Anything?
Just about.
He has.
Yeah.
As long as you get it on his face.
Unknowingly and otherwise.
Either pass out or in jail. It's happened.
Did you get a chance to watch The Ultimate Fighter?
I did.
What'd you think?
I think that Glenn should just be standing in the corner laughing the whole fucking time. Like, what's the other guy's name? Dan?
Yeah.
He should just be standing there and just be like quiet and cool until Dan walks in. And as soon as Dan walks in, just the entire time Dan's in there, just ha 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 ha, just nonstop until Dan can't take it and walks out. That's what I think Glenn should be doing the entire fucking episode until he loses. Because both his fighters just completely shit the fucking bed in both fights. Now, I'm not saying that the guy, Kamaru in the first one, didn't look fantastic at all. But still, for Kamaru to look as shitty as he did, and Dan's fighter to just fucking flop like that, and then this happened again a week later, the kid he put in there didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
He just turtled up in the fetal position and let his ass get beat. Like,
We call that a Kimbo.
who did you bring with you? You were that cocky you brought your worst 8 with you that you thought you were going to win? I don't understand this at all, man. I feel good because I'm fat and out of shape and don't know how to fight. I feel really good. It's like a personal victory for me. I'm teaming Glenn all the fucking way right now. I don't care if he paid fighters to come to his gym. I don't care if he was poaching fighters. I fucking love Glenn.
All I'm gonna say is remember creative editing.
It's true. It's true.
Because we can find out by the end of this that it's the other way around. You're gonna hate him.
Whatever.
Uros Jurisic went up against, what was the guy's name? Buscape Firmino?
I said for the time being, I love Glenn. And he should be laughing until he loses.
So yes, Team Black Azilians wins again. Again, Dana White wasn't really that impressed with the fight, but at the same time, he said the other guy didn't do shit. So if you're going to get in there and you got to get taken down and get, not be able to get back up, that's your own bad. I mean, the fight's not exciting, but...
Yeah, I was kind of bummed out because Busca didn't sub him, right? Yeah.
No.
I was kind of bummed out. I was waiting for that to happen because looked like he had plenty of opportunities. But damn, the other guy just didn't fucking do. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing.
He also, though, did criticize the referee, saying that Busca wasn't really advancing any positions, and they should have stood him up a couple times. Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
I thought there were times they could have stood him up.
There was times they could have stood him up. I mean, he did grind him out. He was laying on top of him, kind of just barely punching him, holding him down, and just... But again,
stand him up, and what's going to happen?
Yeah, just take it down again. Yeah. Which happened. Every time they got stood up or it started again, he got taken down real quick and just got... mauled on the ground.
I don't care if you think there was 2 or 10 more times they should have stood the fight back up. The exact same thing was going to happen over and over and over again. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but at this point in time, I'm just kind of I'm riding high with Glenn.
You're Black Azilians?
I'm Black Azilians all the way. Just because of how fucking cocky Dan was, and it just I don't know. It's just funny to me. It's just fucking funny to me. And Dan's obviously getting pissed.
Yeah,
obviously getting pissed. Already calling out Glenn on the second episode, talking shit to him and stuff. And then Glenn should just fucking laugh every time. Every time. Until he gets punched. Then he won't know what to do.
UFC 186 happened past Saturday. Did you get a chance to watch pay-per-view?
No, I had to check out the recap the next day.
Did you watch pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Had a nice party at your house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What did everybody think of the fights?
They liked it.
Everybody's good? All right. I'm going to start off the prelim card there on Fight Pass.
Yeah, so Randa Marcos went up against Aisling Daly. Marcos takes his fight with a unanimous decision. Then moving on to Valerie Letourneau up against Jessica Berkowski. This was also a unanimous decision. And Nordine Talib over Chris Clements. Again, unanimous decision. So if you had Fight Pass, you were watching a lot of fights. 45 minutes worth of fights on Fight Pass.
A lot of time fights.
Yeah. Jumping on to your prelim card on Fox Sports 1, you had Oliver Aubin Mercy. I actually did watch the prelim card. I didn't watch the pay-per-view. Up against David Michaud. This was a rear naked choke submission in the third round. This was actually pretty damn good on Oliver's part, I thought.
Michaud was taking the fight to him, definitely.
It really was.
In the first couple rounds there, but Oliver hung in there and was able to turn it around.
Was the submission. I don't want to say I didn't see it coming, but he definitely used his positioning to his advantage. Yep. And yeah, like you were saying, Michaud was doing a hell of a job. And then with Chad Laprise going up against Brian Barberina, this was a unanimous decision as well. I thought it was a decent fight.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Alexis Davis surprised the shit out of me.
Whew.
I was actually, and I'm going to be a little bit of an asshole here, I was actually texting the person that I know that knows Alexis Davis personally and saying, your girl have a baby recently? She's going to be dropping down in weight anytime soon? Because she was bouncing all over the place. The fact that she could even, that she won that fight blew my fucking mind. Sarah Kaufman came in there.
was dominating her that first round.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sarah Kaufman came in there ready to bang and in shape, and Alexis Davis looked like she just finished 4 boxes of ho-hos. She could go down to straw weight. She could have cut the straw weight that fucking day. I don't know what her trainer is telling her where, oh, no, we're going to keep you at this weight. No, don't. Cut weight. Go lower. Because there's no way she's going to get past Sarah Kaufman. That's great. But that division, there's no way. She's carrying on way too much extra weight.
Finally able to, though, extract her revenge, get the win over Sarah Kaufman. Sarah Kaufman they told her the series 2-1, but however, she was able to finally get that win.
And I'll give it to her corner. Her corner kind of told her what to do.
Yep.
And she went out there and did.
That's fantastic. That shit ain't gonna work when she gets up higher in those rankings.
You already saw what she tried to do against Ronda. I mean, it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
She wasn't ready. But also, you see the armbar is pretty vicious. She was on her belly. She was unable to tap. She was trying to tap, but she couldn't move her arm, so she had to verbally tap.
Yeah. No, it was a great job by Alexis Davis, but I don't know. I was surprised to see her come in that out of shape. Kind of blew me away. Patrick Cote up against Joe Riggs. Your throwback to 2006 here. Cote looked pretty good up against Riggs. Riggs losing the decision.
Riggs said he thought Cote was a little slippery.
We're going back to Greasegate. It is 2006.
He straight up said, he goes, I know what I've done it myself, and I got busted for it before. He's all, I'm pretty sure he bathed in baby oil and
I
then
don't
was
care.
and then was sweating it out.
That third should have been 30-28. It should have.
Yeah, no, Cote, he looked good in that fight, especially towards the end there. And then jumping onto the main card here, the pay-per-view, which I didn't get to see, you got Thomas Almeida going up against Yves Jawin. This was a first-round TKO.
Yep,
And you saw it, I didn't, so...
it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, Almeida's an up and rising kid, man. I mean, he's doing really well. Jobin was going to be a definite a test for him, and I'm glad this guy's kind of broken in. We'll see how he goes through the rest of the division.
And then Jon Makdessi also scored himself a first-round TKO over Shane Campbell.
That one, I mean, with Shane Campbell fighting a lot of the smaller guys, I had a lot of hopes for him as far as on the undercard. Or he's fighting a lot of the local shows just because I had read about his kickboxing career. But I mean, I guess when it comes down to Octagon experience, Makdessi knew what to do.
Right. If Campbell would have held still, that would have been like at 253.
Yeah.
He did do a lot of running away.
Yeah. I just like I said, maybe the Octagon was a little too much for him.
Well, then we got Michael Bisping getting his win over CB Dollaway, because, of course, this wasn't anything that positioned him for a title shot.
This was...
It was a pretty close fight.
But would you say it was action-packed?
No, not action-packed at all, in my opinion.
Not for what... I mean, Bisping's last fight was all right.
Yeah.
Was it Bisping just doing enough to win?
Yes.
Yeah. It was both of them. It was almost both of them just calculating like,
Oh, really?
okay, now I'm up a point. Oh, wait, he's up a point. Oh, wait, now I'm,
Now I need to do this. Now what should he do?
And then you got Quentin Rampage Jackson getting his win back in the UFC over Fabio Maldonado. This was also a 3-round. There's a lot of decisions on this card.
Yep.
And I heard this one was just boring. At a catchweight at 215, who came in over?
Both of them did.
They both did?
Yeah, because Rampage didn't have time to cut weight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Rampage breaks into the top 10, though, I believe, or at least into the rankings.
Really?
He's been put back on the rankings.
He don't deserve it.
I don't know if it's
He
top
does not
10.
deserve it.
I know he's in the rankings. I don't know if it's top 10. Let me double check.
Especially when Fabio's big thing was he didn't even say I need.
11?
Puts him at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was currently not ranked. Fabio Maldonado was at number 12. Maldonado gets dropped down to 13.
Is the light heavyweight division so thin that Patrick Cummins is actually fucking ranked, though?
He's top 15. He's not top 10. I mean, give him a little bit, man.
Yeah, and all Maldonado
He's got
wanted.
3 fights in the UFC and 2 of them are losses. And he's ranked number 14.
No, he's got a win. I thought he had 2. Oh, he has 2 wins. The first... okay, he's had 4
Cormier.
fights. He lost to Cormier and he lost to OSP. The other 2 guys he won.
I thought he only fought 3 times in the UFC.
No, the other 2 guys he won. The first one was really boring because he didn't know what to do, and the second one he did a little bit better on. He was able to put him on.
Yeah, and coming into this fight, all Maldonado wanted to do was survive.
Yep.
He said it would put his place in history that Rampage didn't knock him out.
Couldn't finish him.
That's all he wanted.
That was his goal, to not get
that
knocked
was
out
his
by
goal.
Rampage.
Yeah, he never said I need to beat Rampage to set myself in history. I just need to survive.
That's a lofty goal. I guess that's one of those fighters that we talk about that are not coming in confident that you rarely hear about.
Well, like you said on TUF last week, he's not going to knock him out. He's going to grind out a 2-round decision.
Yeah. Oh well.
Homer Simpson.
Do what you got to do. With Mighty Mouse getting a 5th round, very last second. Jesus.
Very last second. Yeah, he just trolled everybody, being like, "It's going to go decision. Don't worry, guys. I got the armbar."
Kyoji Horiguchi.
Well, he had the decision wrapped up.
Oh, he had it wrapped up, but that's what I think. That's why I think he's just thinking, "Hey, you all think I'm just going to cruise for a decision? No, I'm still finishing people, bitches. I'm finishing this motherfucker right now."
One of the guys I work with, he was just like, "How could you not hold out for another second?" Just started talking all kinds of trash about Kyoji Horiguchi. It's like. You're not looking at the clock. You don't know what's happening. You just know your arm's about to break.
Yep.
And so would you rather break your arm and be out for 6 months, or would you rather just take you're going to lose anyway, take the loss and be able to move on with your training and come back and fight? And of course, this idiot I work with thinks that bones come back 10 times stronger if you break them. So,
but he don't know the difference between fruits and vegetables.
No, dude, no, no. And apparently, when you work somewhere, you're part of the onion. Not a union.
Because there are many layers.
One thing about this flyweight fight is this is the first time I have seen 2 flyweight fighters get tired.
Yeah, I don't know. They still look like I think Demetrius could still go.
It did slow down in the 5th.
I think he slowed down. I do think though this was a lot.
Did he slow down just because he could though?
Again, he knew he had it.
I see a lot of people that actually watch this fight and actually like this fight, and I think slowly but surely people are coming around to Demetrius Johnson being the champion we know
Make
he
him
is.
a co-event
And
before the main
they
heavyweight
tried to.
event.
They tried to.
And it don't work.
Well, no.
The
main event got pulled.
that's right,
So
that's
they
right,
that's
that's
the
right.
second time it's happened to him. He was the co-main event on both times, and he got pushed to the main event. He's like, fuck.
Maybe those guys are scared. They're like, fuck that, I ain't following Demetrius.
So, but I mean, I think slowly but surely people are coming around to Demetrius Johnson being an awesome champion that he is, and that people will start buying his pay-per-views.
Yeah.
A lot of people like. I mean, he's the guy that's finishing his fights.
He's a fantastic fighter. He
Yep.
just doesn't sell the pay-per-views, and that's
Yep.
what the problem is. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it all.
About Pac at all?
Oh yeah, talk about the
We can just
big fights going on.
just
this
do our
weekend.
picks on it. Really.
Obviously, you got Mayweather going against Pacquiao, and probably the biggest boxing fight. Would you say ever right now?
I'd say
I would say ever right now.
Well, I mean, think about all the fights, money-wise, ever
Yeah.
in
history.
Inflation.
in the 21st century.
All right,
I'll go with that.
Biggest
I mean,
fight in the
what do you
21st
think-
century.
Go back. Do you think like Duran and Leonard? Like, is that the closest you can get
Yeah.
for hype and for
You don't
the two
think-
guys that are in their prime?
The Rumble in the Jungle, man.
That's further back.
I don't know. There's a couple Tyson fights I would say
Okay.
are bigger.
They're saying Holyfield, the ear bite, the
The
famous ear
Holyfield Tyson fight.
the first one
Yeah.
where he bit him in the ear. They said that might be the one that might outsell, but overall they're saying this is going to be hands down one of the biggest selling and the most money put down.
I think this is probably going to be comparative to the Rumble in the Jungle.
Are you going to Mexico? It's free.
Yes.
If you go to Mexico, you can watch this fight for free.
If I go to Mexico, I'm not coming back.
Check this out. If you're going to Mexico, it's going to cost you some money, so it's not free.
If I'm going to Mexico, I'm not coming back, and that's not by choice. is what I should say. Yeah. So who do you got?
Obviously, like I said, I'm with the rest of the boxing world. I am rooting for Manny Pacquiao.
So
And I'm
where's your money? Where's your heart?
Again, my money is going on Mayweather, and my heart's with Pacquiao, hands down.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean,
Pac all the way, both sides.
Money and
Money
heart.
in.
Money and hearts on Pac.
Josh?
Yeah, you're going Pacquiao.
Pacquiao. All right.
I want him to win, and I think he can win by knockout. I don't think Mayweather can knock him out.
No,
at all.
Mayweather's not going to knock him out.
Mayweather's going to stay on the outside, be very defensive,
Mayweather hasn't knocked out anybody since the last chick he was with.
be very defensive, and he's going to win it a decision.
I think the problem's going to come down, and me not knowing a lot about boxing, but just trying to incorporate the knowledge that I do have about MMA into it, is that with Floyd Mayweather's fighting style, forcing Pacquiao to chase him.
Yep.
Even though Pacquiao's got a hell of a gas tank, 12 rounds of chasing is going to.
Pacquiao wants to brawl. He always wants to brawl.
Which is
he
why I
likes
think
getting there and get dirty, and Mayweather does not do that
Which-
type of fighting. He will take the first couple rounds, I think. Pacquiao will take the first couple rounds until Mayweather starts timing him and figuring out how to make him chase him and make him stay on the and keep him on, stay on the outside. And then that's when I think Mayweather's going to take over and win the
I think
decision.
this because Pacquiao's so aggressive, he might wear himself out a bit chasing Mayweather the entire time. Because Mayweather's never going to be like, okay, fuck this, I'm going to brawl. It's just not what he does.
It'll never happen.
Yeah.
Never happen.
And Pacquiao's so angry and aggressive and all that stuff. I don't think he'll stop chasing him either. So that's my prediction on it. But I don't know shit about boxing either.
No. Not lately. Not in the last decade.
Again, I think this fight should have happened 5 years ago.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't know if the money and the hype would be as big because, we've had 5 years of being like, this fight should have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be one of the biggest fights of all time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I hope it lives up to its hype.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know about that.
Are you paying the $100 to see this fight?
I might.
You're going to pay the $100?
I got some people hitting
Buffalo
me up.
Wild Wings is not going to show this fight. If you're in the Central Valley, in Modesto or Turlock, they're both not showing it.
No, okay, well, because they also said that some are not, and then others are, but they're going to charge you $20 at the door.
Cover charge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's what I'm charging $25 at my house.
It's over $5,000 for them to get the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that being in the industry, it's over $5,000 because they charge you by capacity. But to me, that's just crazy that Buffalo Wild Wings, a big chain like that's not going to get a boxing match. I know some small bars in and around town that are getting it that are very on the DL because they don't want to get busted for showing a fight.
We'll have to talk after the show. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I want to do it. I told my friends to do it at my house if they pitched in, but I don't really want to. I don't really want to.
The other place on Yosemite Avenue will not be showing it because it's a hole in the wall, and they still wanted $4,500 to show it there.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't even fit enough capacity in there to cover that.
You can't fit 4,500 people in there now.
For $1 a piece?
That's the cover charge at OP.
Usually $1, yeah.
Is $1. Because, they like to knock it, keep the vagrants out.
Right, for $1.
Yeah. Yeah, and your shirt has to have sleeves.
Well, that sucks. Where am I going to go in the summertime then? All right, well, thanks for listening to another episode of Split Decision, of course, brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. Make sure you tell your friends. Check us out on Spreaker, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Also, our official website, splitdecisionmma.com. Get us on iTunes. Get a subscription. You'll never miss an episode. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That is SD_MMA. Throw us a like on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. And that's pretty much it. Check out Americana.rocks. Get some MMA apparel. They got some good stuff on there. You can get Killer Kelly's shirt along with a bunch of other really cool stuff. We should have our Bear Pterodactyl shirt up there soon. Hopefully, which would be awesome.
Get on that, Fatty.
Yeah, get on it, man. And that's pretty much it from the Ruloff Family Studios. It is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.